Gentlemen, you're watching, yes, the Yankees Entertainment and Sports Network.
On a hot and humid Sunday afternoon, it is time for baseball as Hyundai presents the Sunday game of the week. It's the New York Yankees against the Baltimore Orioles in the final game of a three-game set from Yankee Stadium in the Bronx, New York. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Yankees baseball along with Ken Singleton and Paul O'Neill. I'm Michael Kay. The Yankees have won 6 in a row, first 2 against the Orioles in this series, and they won yesterday by a score of 5-4. Right in the middle of it, a guy who comes off the DL and contributes right away, Eduardo Nunez.
Well, no doubt about it. Excited to be back. It's been a while, but I tell you what, he came out with good swings, good approach. He can add a lot to this offense. He can do a lot of things, use the whole field. He has speed. Just anytime you put a guy back in the lineup and he ends up helping you win a game, big jump for the Yankees.
Good stuff for him and for the Yanks. And now let's take a look at today's New York Lottery pitching matchup. Jason Hamill for the Orioles, 7-5, 5.19. And the veteran, Hiroki Kuroda for the Yankees, 7-6, 2.95. Yankees were a little worried about Kuroda a couple of days ago, Kenny. Here he is.
Yeah, he had a hip issue, but hip hooray, ready to go today. So the fact is he last pitched Sunday night in Baltimore. Struggled early, gave up 3 early home runs, but then he got his act together. Struck out 7 Oriole hitters, but the Yankees were losing that game as they got swept. Final score was 4-2 at Camden Yards.
And now the Yankees are looking to sweep the Orioles and return the favor. How close is the captain? He was in Scranton yesterday in a rehab start. We'll hear from Derek Jeter when we get back on Yes. For the Yankees AAA team, and this is what he did with Scranton Wilkes-Barre. He walked in his first at-bat, lined out the second base in his second at-bat, grounded out the third base in his third at-bat. He played 5 innings in shortstop. He had 1 chance there. He handled it. Meredith Markakis traveled to Scranton last night to catch up with Jeter and asked him how he felt.
Yeah, everything went well. I just wanted to go out there, play, and have no setbacks, and everything went well.
You look at the at-bats, you walked once, lined out to second, and then you did have to kind of run out of the batter's box, that ground out to third. How'd you feel busting out of the box?
I felt good. It's probably one of the first times I sort of got a standing ovation for grounding out and running the first. So if that's how the year is going to go, and then it'll be a good year. It's good to get back out there, get in a game situation. You know, simulated games are fun. You get to see pitches, but it's just not the same. So I'm happy I had an opportunity to come up here. Fans have been great here. I haven't been here in 18 years, so I'm happy I had a chance to come back.
What do you still need to do in your mind to prove to yourself that you're ready to get back up there with that team?
Nothing. You know, in my mind, I'm ready, but, you know, I understand. You have to get more at-bats. You got to play more defense, play back-to-back games. You know, I understand there's things you have to do, but in my mind, you know, I want to be there as soon as possible.
Well, He's in Scranton again today. He'll be the DH for the Yankees AAA affiliate. But we have a Major League game right here. Lineups, first pitch, baseball. Next, right here on Yes. By Heineken. Open your world. Enjoy responsibly. And by your Tri Honda dealers. Hurry to your local Tri Honda dealer for great deals on the 2013 models. It's another hot one here in the Bronx. Yankees and the Orioles, game 3 of this 3-game set. Why don't we take a look at the Orioles starting lineup as the Yankees have taken the field. Kuroda taking his warm-ups. Buck Showalter put this one down on paper. Nate McLeod, the DH, will lead off, batting second. The third baseman, Manny Machado. Nick Markakis in right field will hit third. Cleaning up, the center fielder Adam Jones. Chris Davis at first base will bat fifth. Batting sixth and catching, Matt Wieters. J.J. Hardy will play shortstop. He'll bat seventh. Batting eighth, playing left field, Chris Dickerson. Brian Roberts, the second baseman, is going to bat ninth.
Hiroki Kuroda get the start for the Yankees. You can see the Oriole hitters there. Nate McLeod's going to lead it off, and we'll look at the numbers for Kuroda this year. This will be his 18th start. He hasn't started since last Sunday. That was against the Orioles down in Baltimore. And he took his 6th loss of the year, against 7 wins. You can see less than a hit per inning. Let's check out our pitcher scouting report brought to you by your Tri Honda dealers. He's pitched very well here at Yankee Stadium, a 2.16 ERA in the Bronx. Right-handed batters having trouble with his slider. They're only hitting .210 against him. He's given up 12 home runs. That's not a bad total, but 5 of them have been to the Oriole hitters. So he's got some guys who have taken him deep in the past in this lineup.
All right, we are ready. Kuroda is ready. McLeod is ready. And let's do it here in the Bronx. The first pitch is high, and we are underway.
I'm just going to throw something out there, Ken. Chris Davis is one of those guys, huh? The year he's having?
Yeah, it happened last week.
Yeah.
The 1-0. Popped up. Cano will make the play for the first out. Let's check out the Yankee defense. Behind Kuroda in the outfield, it's Almonte, Gardner, and Ichiro left to right. Infield, Cruz, Nunez, Cano, and Overbay third to first. Stewart behind the plate. He's caught all 3 games in this series, and we told you about Kuroda on the mound. Here's Manny Machado, chosen as a reserve on the American League All-Star team at the age of 21. Turned 21 yesterday.
He's a young 21.
He's a newbie 21.
He's a newly legalized.
Yeah.
Totally legal now.
Fire that ID out proud now. A lot of swings yesterday from Machado. You see that he likes to get his, he'll cheat inside once in a while, but he loves to get his arms extended. Very level swing. Kuroda pounding him inside, trying to tie him up a little bit.
As Michael said, first time he's made the All-Star team. He hasn't played much more than a full season in the major leagues when you total up the number of games that he's played. But you have a feeling he's going to make many, many more All-Star teams.
The 2-1. 2-2.
In fact, he's got 3 other teammates on the All-Star team. The Orioles have 4 players on the team. Only the Tigers have more. They have 6.
And the Orioles have the top vote getter.
Yeah.
Chris Davis got more votes than anybody else on the American League squad.
He kind of deserved it, didn't he?
Man, there's a lot of times where, that fan favorites end up getting that vote getter, and some of the guys having the best of years. But, this year the fans did a good job. Chris Davis, unbelievable year going so far.
Hardy made it for the second time, Jones for the third time, and Machado was selected as a reserve by Jim Leland. Strike three. Machado down looking.
One thing about Kuroda, Robinson Cano is going to make it for the Yankees and Mariano Rivera, so you can see that they're multiple-time All-Stars.
And David Robertson is on that final vote category. 5 American League players. We'll have more on that a little bit later, but Joe Girardi is urging Yankee fans to vote for Robertson on Yankees.com.
Yeah, one thing about Kuroda, he's made 5 career starts against the Orioles. He's only walked 1 batter in those 5 starts. And that was the toughest guy to walk on the Orioles, Adam Jones. Somehow that happened. So he's been throwing a lot of strikes against this team.
The 1-0. Line to short, knocked down by Nunez. It trickles into the outfield, and it's going to be a base hit for Markakis.
Ball hit right on the nose. Sometimes you just don't pick it up, especially in a day game.
There's another look. He did put some leather on it just to slow it down a bit. And Markakis now has a 5-game hitting streak. I should say his 4-gamer was broken yesterday, so he's now hitting 5 out of his last 6.
Pitch outside, 1-0.
There's that slider we were talking about. Real tight slider that's difficult for the right-handed hitters. And that's why they're only hitting .210 against him. He's got that for the righties and the splitter for the lefties.
Double up there, Kenny. I mean, a lot of times you don't expect as a hitter to see consecutive pitches. Another slider off the plate. Adam Jones waved at a couple curveballs early in the series against Nova. It seems like they've stayed with that breaking ball away.
Kuroda's had 3 previous starts against Baltimore this year, and he's 1-2. He beat them here at Yankee Stadium way back in April 14th. Then he lost his 2 starts at Camden Yards, May 22nd, and then his last one, June 30th. And 2-3 in his career against Baltimore.
That just shows you something. I mean, 2-0, and you can throw that perfect pitch, that little comeback two-seamer right off the outside corner. See that two-seamer just run right back to the corner. You're pretty confident to throw for that 2-0 pitch.
Fly ball right field. Ichiro drifts back, and he'll put it away for the final out of the first. No runs a hit, no errors, and 1 man left. Orioles nothing, and the Yankees coming to bat. Here's their starting lineup presented by Lexus. This will face Jason Hamill today. Brett Gardner in center field will lead off, batting second and playing right field. Ichiro Suzuki. Robinson Cano at second base hits third. Cleaning up the DH, Travis Hafner. Rookie switch hitter Zoilo Almonte at left field will bat fifth. Batting sixth playing first base Lyle Overbay. Luis Cruz at third base will bat seventh. Batting eighth and playing shortstop Eduardo Nunez, and Chris Stewart will catch, and he's going to bat ninth.
Michael mentioned Jason Hamill's going to get the start for Baltimore. He'll face Brett Gardner leading off there. The numbers on Hamill not quite as good as they were last year. This will be his 18th start. 7-5. His ERA is up there. And he's 3-3 in his career against the Yankees. Let's check out the pitcher scatter report brought to you by your Tri-Honda dealers. 6 of his 7 wins have come on the road. June Swoon, he is hasn't won in 6 decisions, and he didn't win a game in June, and 18 home runs allowed. I'll get into that in just a second here after the first pitch.
Boy, he's holding it on you, Ken.
You wanted to hear what it was all about.
Well, you might find a remedy for it. The fact is that he's almost pitched as many innings this year as he did all last year. He was out with knee problems, had knee surgery. But he's given up twice as many home runs this year. He's given up 18. He only gave up 9 all of last year.
And this year, 102 innings, and last year, 118. He gave up 9 homers.
Yeah, the problem is he's having problems getting his fastball down this year. It's been up in the zone, and in Camden Yards, you can't do that. Or anywhere else, for that matter.
Popped up. Machado for the first out. Let's check out the defense behind Jason Hamill. In the outfield, the former Yankee Dickerson is at left, Jones in center, and Markakis in right. Infield, Machado, Hardy, Roberts, and Davis third to first. Wieters behind the plate, and Hamill is on the mound.
I was just watching Brett Gardner and that little fly, but some outs frustrates you more than others.
Yeah.
You know, strikeouts, you know, they bum you out a little bit. And if you hit a hard line drive, at least you have some hope. But when you hit that high fly ball to like the catcher, it irritates you. You know, you do better than that.
Yeah, as hot as Gardner was about a week or so ago, he's starting to cool off a little bit here. And that Joe Girardi gave him a day off, and sometimes that recharges your batteries. Gave him a day off in Minnesota.
You know, if you think about it, Brett Gardner's a high energy guy. You know, uses a lot of speed and playing hard just to to be good in the major league. So it takes a lot out of him to play every single day. A lot more than some of the true boppers and guys that don't put that much effort in the field that Gardner does.
Well, Brett wants to make contact today in particular. I'm not sure he even knows that he's on the verge of this record. He has struck out in 14 straight games, and the Yankees franchise record striking out in consecutive games is 15, held jointly by pitcher Stan Bonson and Alex Rodriguez.
Stan Bonson.
Swing and a miss as Ichiro goes down on strikes. And for the Yankee fans of 50 to 55-year-old vintage, Stan Bonson is remembered as a guy the Yankees traded to the White Sox for Rich McKinney as they tried to solve their third base problems, and that did not do it. Rich McKinney was not the answer. And Bonson had a nice career in
Stan
Chicago.
Bonson, it's weird you bring that name up because he was a good friend of mine, my best friend in high school. So we're going to go to Florida for spring break, like a lot of high schoolers do. So we go down and we stay at Stan Bonson's house. And I thought, this is what I want to do. Beautiful house. Played catch with him that day, and that's where I'm like, wow, this is what I want to do in life. This is pretty cool.
So he was friends with your friend?
He was the uncle of my best friend in high school. But I still joke when I see him at some events and things like that. He was Rookie of the Year for the White Sox, right? And he came over here, is that right?
I think it might have been the other way around.
Other way around?
Yeah,
He started with the Yankees.
Yeah, he was Rookie of the Year with the Yankees.
I'll tell you what, as a high schooler going down to Florida and staying at his house and seeing what it was like to be a major league player, he made a very easy decision. Man, this is what I want to do. It's pretty cool.
Maybe I'll even pitch.
Yeah, I tried. I was heaving as hard as I could to show him what I had.
He won the Rookie of the Year with the Yankees in 1968. And the addendum to that story that people don't know about is that Paul actually bought Stan Bonson's house. So.
Yeah.
Cano fouls it away.
You know, we always talk about how the short porch in right field here at Yankee Stadium really benefits the left-handed hitters. Robinson Cano's hit 20 home runs this year, 5th year in a row he's hit 20. But 13 of those 20 have come on the road. And of course we know that during the course of his career he's been a very good road hitter. And not only does it include just the high batting average, it also includes power.
It's time for the MetLife I Can Do This stat of the game. Robinson Cano will be the only New York Yankee second baseman to start 4 consecutive All-Star games. And he's also the captain of the Home Run Derby team in the American League. He's got to take Chris Davis, you would think, right? As part of his team.
I guarantee he's going to give him an invitation.
I think he's already spoken to him about it. They've been down at first base a couple of times.
Yeah, well, I'm surprised Robbie stayed with that. Didn't he have all kind of trouble when he went to Kansas City with being the captain of the home run thing?
Well, he didn't choose Billy Butler. Yeah. And the Royals fans were just all over him, and they still boo him.
Yeah.
You can boo him all he wants. He's a great player and a fun guy to watch hit, I'll tell you that.
(3-2). Yankees baseball available in Spanish by hitting the SAP button on your television. SAP is brought to you by Infinity. Cano works a walk with 2 outs.
See Hamill just completely lose the grip on that. On hot days, every once in a while, you know, long at bats, a lot of sweat, you just completely see this ball just slip out. Wasn't able to pull that seam down to get good break.
Yeah, it was supposed to be a breaking ball and try and maybe backdoor it. That's it. Rosenberg gets a workout on a day like today.
Leads off first. Shift is on. And there's a strike. Let's look at the game time weather presented by Bigelow Tea. 91 degrees. Humidity 50%. Wind 11 miles per hour. Another heat advisory. It's a scorcher. 2-1.
There used to be a heat advisory every day that Nolan Ryan pitched.
That's right.
It definitely heated up.
Hey, did you read the article in the paper today about the guy that they say threw like 110 miles an hour and never made it to the major leagues and this and that?
Steve Delkowski.
There you go.
Yeah.
Thank you, Kenny.
Yeah.
Kind of an interesting story.
It is a true story. He was so wild that the hitters were afraid to hit against him. And it was Cal Ripken Sr. who had him in the minor leagues and tried to, harness all of this power. And one way they tried to actually slow him down a little bit. They had him go out there and throw like 200 pitches as hard as he could.
Tire him out.
So they thought his control would get better. And it never really did. Steve Delkowski.
2-2. And
catchers were afraid to catch him, so what they did was they put this They put a bucket of balls out, and he was supposed to throw all the bucket to home plate. They put this block of wood to stop the ball, and he just destroyed it.
2-2.
And you see these foul balls, but what Kenny, back to your point, everything's up. Up in the zone. As hot as it is, you know, you square up one of those balls up in the strike zone, and they go a long way. That's kind of just a hanging curveball right there.
Here is Rick Adair, the Baltimore pitching coach,
holding his breath every time he sees one in the upper part of the strike zone.
Belt high, yeah.
Swing and a miss as Hafner goes down on strikes. One man left. We go to the second, 0-0. Brewed Coors Light. First 50 starts with the Yankees. Best ERAs. Jimmy Key, teammate of Paul's, 3.05. David Cohn, teammate of Paul's, 3.12. Hiroki Kuroda, Paul doesn't know him, 3.20.
I introduced myself. I know all three of those guys.
You know what, though? And you see Key and David Cohn and Coney. Paul, I'll tell you, it's a good feeling when you're in the field and you got a good pitcher on the mound.
There's no doubt you're not going to win championships without good pitching.
That is so true.
And I tell you what, as much as you hear Andy Pettitte, how he helps pitchers even when he's on the bench and stuff, I truly believe that Jimmy Key helped Andy Pettitte in the same position. I mean, talk about a guy that could get big outs, ground ball double plays when he needed them. Great teammate.
Well, when Gene Michael was putting together the team that essentially won those championships in 96, 98, 99, 2000, he wanted players like Jimmy Key that knew how to win and were leaders. And he got Key, although, you know, admittedly he tried to get Greg Maddux first, and Maddux ended up going to Atlanta. He wanted guys like Mike Gallego and Spike Owen, guys that knew how to win. Brought in a guy like Paul O'Neill as well, and I think he felt that if you surrounded younger players with those sorts of players, it would make them better. Almost, you know, pay it forward. 1-2.
You know what? As good as the Baltimore Orioles are, I mean, everyday players. If you look down there, and Kenny, you probably can answer this more than anyone, who is their leader? Because they're all kind of in the same boat, you know, kind of younger generation guys just coming into their own.
Grounded into short right field. Nice play by Cano. Takes a base hit away from Davis.
Well, there's your hitting into the shift. And Paul, I don't know if when you were playing, if they shifted against you very often. Not me either. Yeah, but Cano playing the rover position throws down Davis, robs him of a hit.
You know, he makes things look so easy. You know, that's not an easy play to spin from right center field. I mean, this is not where he's usually playing. So it's an awkward play for him, but he makes it look easy.
Wow, that was excellent. To answer your question, Paul, I think you can look at somebody like Wieters. He's looked at as leader that helps the pitching staff. But I think in Baltimore, I think the fans feel that Adam Jones is the guy because he's the one that's most vocal.
Wieters wraps one to right field. Playing it off the wall is Ichiro. Wieters is going for 2, and he's there ahead of the throw.
That's that ball that's got that top spin, and it kind of short hopped the wall, so it didn't come off quick. Good read by Wieters. Ichiro didn't get the ball up quick. And I mean, this is a two-seamer you try to run back. Came out over the plate a little bit. Wieters put a good spin, a good swing on it. But you see it kind of gets down there and kind of short hops and stays there. And Ichiro has to go get it, which allowed Wieters to make a turn, make a good read, cruise into second base.
Runner at second, and here is J.J. Hardy. Grounded sharply to Nunez. 2 away.
Didn't get a chance to say that Hardy is one of the 4 All-Stars for the Orioles. And the thing about Hardy making the All-Star team, he also made it in the National League one year with the Brewers. And there's 3 shortstops who've made the All-Star team from both leagues. Tony Fernandez was one of them when he played for the Jays and the Padres, and Miguel Tejada with the A's, the Orioles, and the Astros made it from each league, and Hardy's now done that. I can remember Tony Fernandez playing with the Padres, and they had the 4 hitters at the top of the lineup: Fernandez, Gwynn, Sheffield, and McGriff. 4 pretty good players, and that comprised the Padres offense, and they were known as the 4 tops because they were the top of the order.
Think about Tony Fernandez and how smooth he was in the field. Robbie Cano's got a little Tony Fernandez in it.
Dickerson with the ground ball to Overbay, and that's going to do it. So the double does not hurt. No runs, a hit. 1 man left. Let's go to the bottom of the second. 0-0. A Prius is the official hybrid vehicle of the Yankees. Well, here's how we started the conversation. Who is David Robertson's biggest competition in the American League All-Star Final Vote campaign, and why? Doc Drake, Ramore, Benoit, and Uehara, because they are currently closing for their teams and saves are more glamorous than holds. I guess Doc Drake Ramore is a fan of Friends, because that was Joey Tribbiani's character that he played on Days of Our Lives.
Oh, yes, Days of Our Lives. That used to be my old soap opera.
Really?
Yeah, maybe he didn't know that Uehara blew a save last night.
What a loss for the Red Sox, Kenny? They finally lose. Here's the 5 that are competing for that final spot on the roster: Benoit, Delabar, Uehara, and Sheppers. All relief pitchers, so the bullpen will get better one way or the other.
Yeah. For all you Yankee fans, these 4 don't even count. Right? Did you vote for your own?
Yeah, that's what you should do. You can bet the other teams ahead.
Absolutely.
Yeah, their fans are voting for them.
Follow Yes Network and tweet us your responses using hashtag Yankees Prius to keep the conversation going. I know the Mets really put on a campaign to get David Wright to win the third base job, and he deserved it. But Sandoval gets a lot of support from a San Francisco base that really loves him, and they got the vote out, and Wright's the starting third baseman.
Well, Sandoval also had 2 World Series appearances in the last 3 years that helped him out. But it's nice when you can start at your home ballpark, and that's something David Wright's going to get a chance to do, and maybe even Matt Harvey, which would be nice to see.
1-2. Almonte spoils it and fouls it away. Well, Girardi has not announced it, but it seems like he's comfortable with Almonte from the left side. And you can see that he pinch hit Wells for Almonte yesterday against Mattis. And then Buck countered with a right-hander. So I think you're going to see Wells, who's really swinging the bat better, bat against the lefties. And although Almonte's a switch hitter, he'll stay against the right-handed pitchers.
You know what? People might think, well, if the kid's a switch hitter, why not have him play all the time? That happened to me when I first came up. They basically used me on one side of the plate, and it's almost like they're making you earn this everyday job once you got to the big leagues. And it all worked out in the end. I got to play all the time, but it was not just right away.
It was funny you say that, because, I mean, what a difference of playing in the major leagues and being an everyday player in the major league. When you just walk in the clubhouse and your name's just in that lineup card every single day. And it's, you know, like 50-50. Some guys make the team as a young phenom, and they start and they play every day. Most guys come up to fill in, get a little opportunity here or there. Then there's an injury, and then you kind of, you know, wave your through things till you deserve it and earn it.
Almonte battling. Here's the 3-2, and he battled into a walk. We talked about Robertson in the final 5 for the final spot on the American League team, and Joe Girardi used some of his press conference before the game to get the vote out.
You know, I'm really hoping that David Robertson gets a chance. He's been so good for us, and I think he deserves a chance to go. And you can vote for him on Yankees.com.
You know what? I think that whole internet deal, elect the last player or so on. I think that's great marketing for baseball to, you know, have the fans get even more involved in that final player that makes the team. Fantastic.
I got a chance to talk to Robertson yesterday after the game. I saw him walking out of the stadium, and he said he was overjoyed that he was even on that list. He said, I never expected it. It would be so cool. And you see over the years that the guys that set up the closers are starting to get a little more respect. Because as great as Mariano is, I mean, we all saw it, how important Nelson and Stanton were to those championship teams. You have to get the ball to him.
Look how that importance became evident when we were winning and Mariano was setting up for Wetland.
Yep.
I mean, it was, and he would come in the 7th and 8th. And then all of a sudden, you know, baseball kind of changed. That back end of the bullpen, that 7th, 8th, and their closer became a huge part of not all teams, but the teams that were in the World Series every year.
Instead of having that 7th and 8th inning guy pitch 2 innings, now they have one guy for each inning. And, and primarily what you're doing, you're saving the arm of that guy who was pitching 2 innings before. And you get another game out of it.
The 2-0 to Overbay, 3-0. So Hamill, who had an 11-pitch walk to Almonte, has now gone 3-0 on Overbay.
And as Paul said, he's having trouble getting the ball down today.
And a strike.
We haven't talked about it much, but I mean, with the Yankees kind of stealing that first game and then winning yesterday, you got an opportunity to sweep the Orioles today, and I mean that's a big thing, especially when you just came from Baltimore losing 3.
Well, not only that, I mean, the Yankees win today, they stay ahead of them in the standings.
Yeah.
Check swing, did he go? Yes, he did. 3-2. We told you yesterday the Yankees gained the game on the Red Sox. Red Sox, what? Kenny had a 4-run lead with 2 outs?
2 outs in the 9th inning, and the Angels tied the score on an error with 2 outs. And then Josh Hamilton hit a game winner. I think it was the 11th inning, a walk-off.
I'll tell you what, I mean, that 5 is kind of that mid-range point. If you could knock a game or 2 off that going into the All-Star break, all out of play, I mean, you really got to feel good about what this team has done, because, you know, they've dropped back to 6 with Baltimore coming in, and, you know, that's kind of a scary spot, and they've played this series well. We talked about how important it is to finish up before the All-Star break with all these home games, and then you come out of the break playing Boston and Texas. I mean, that's they got some tough games ahead of them.
Yeah, get some rest.
Really battling Hamill, and you could see Hamill frustrated, barked out something when he came off the mound.
Well, you can see Joe Girardi has some faith in Overbay's ability to put bat on ball. He's starting the runner here.
Look at Overbay, who pretty much uses the whole field, and Hamill, I mean, he's not your true strikeout pitcher. Sure, he can make a good pitch when he needs one, but he's not a guy that's going to blow you away. You've got to think that Overbay can put the ball in play.
Hey, Almonte, it's a good thing he's 24 years old getting his running in today. Run all day, run all night.
I'll tell you, the worst thing you can do, and we've all been in this situation where you're going and they foul off 3-4 pitches. The worst thing you can do is just think it's going to happen again, and you don't get a good break. And all of a sudden he swings through it and you're out at second base by 20 feet.
Runner goes again. And there's a base hit. Almonte will coast into third. The Yankees have runners on the corners and nobody out.
Now, great at bat by Overbay. I mean, as a hitter, you make that pitcher work. 3-2, foul some pitches, another slider with not a lot of bite, and just drive it right back up the middle.
That's 2 good at bats in a row. Almonte, multi-pitch at bat. I think it was 9 or 10 pitches before he walked, and the same thing working for Overbay here. So there's nobody out, and both of them have driven up the pitch count in this inning. We see it on Yesmo, brought to you by your Mercedes-Benz Tri-State dealer.
Tell you what, you could really see on Yesmo, we talk about that slider hanging a little bit, and a really, really good slider will have almost a dot. It's got such fine spin. That had, you know, almost a quarter size rotation on it where you just know it's not going to break a lot.
So Monte's at bat was 11 pitches and Overbay's was 9.
20 pitches and you're in a jam. That's tough.
Foul back by Cruz. Cruz is certainly showing a better bat than the one that hit 127 with the Dodgers before they let him go. As he drives that one to right field, Markakis will make the catch. Tagging is Almonte, and he only goes halfway. Throw comes in on one hop.
Robbie Thompson knows in this situation, Markakis, one of the better right fielders, arms in the league, and stayed behind it, had a good ball to throw on because you're moving forward. Why take a chance?
Yeah, this is kind of just to make him throw the ball in case he threw one away, because you're not even really thinking about scoring.
You want a false break. I mean, 1 out of 100. Every once in a while, a guy will just launch one, and you can score anyway. But you see, this is a good throw.
And he's got a reputation of being a good thrower. So I think he led the league in assists one year.
Here's Nunez with 2 ribbies yesterday. He had 4 before he went on the DL, so he gets 2 in 1 game. And that one is driven to left field. Dickerson will make the catch. Tagging is Almonte. A sac fly for Nunez, another ribby, and a 1-0 Yankee lead.
And that's why Robbie Thompson doesn't take that chance against Markakis. Next guy up. Ball hit hard, deep enough, easy run.
Nunez had a sacrifice fly yesterday. Man, he looks for the first thing smoking and jumps on it.
Yankee PR department tweeting out that the Yankees have acquired Travis Ishikawa, a left-handed hitting first baseman and DH off of waivers by the Orioles. The Orioles actually designated him for assignment, and the Yankees have picked him up. Here's Chris Stewart. Shows bunt. Well, the Yankees are certainly getting their money's worth with Stewart. He has played every game this weekend in extraordinarily hot weather. Yesterday he played day game after night game, and he's in there again today. And I know that they like Romine as a catcher, but he has not been able to hit at all.
There's some rumblings that, you know, some other guys might get opportunities, and you hate to see it to a young guy because they hear it first. You know, they feel it and they hear it. Defensively, you know, he has been sound, but there comes a point where, you know, here's a future catcher that how long can you sit him on the bench because he's not hitting and not get experience down there in AAA?
And I think one of the problems for him was he missed just about all of last year with back problems. And, you know, he's not developing right here with the Yankees. Not getting a chance to play.
He has just 9 hits in 66 at bats. That's a 136 batting average for Romine. And, you know, if you'd ask him, he'd say, well, how do you want me to hit if I play once a week? Yeah. And then if you ask Girardi, he'd say, well, how do you want me to play unless you hit? So it's the age-old question.
See, the whole thing is to develop as a hitter, and you're not going to get the opportunity just watching games or catching pitchers in the bullpen. You got to play games.
That one is lined into center field. Chris Stewart with a base hit. As Overbay advances to second.
Well, that pitch looked like it was central.
You know, I was just going to say that looked like just a batting practice fastball right down the middle. You know, I don't care where you are in the lineup, and you see that just a 4-seam fastball right down the middle, right off the middle of the barrel. That's what you're supposed to do with that pitch as a hitter.
Yeah, big league hitters and even minor league hitters have been hitting it forever. The difference is that big league hitters, they can also hit the breaking ball. The minor league hitters, they don't get the big leagues because they can't hit a slider and a curve.
Here's Brett Gardner. Fouled out to the third baseman in the first. And there's a strike.
Gardner has been equally effective at home and on the road. 277 at Yankee Stadium, 276 on the road. So his game has been throughout the National and American leagues this year when he played interleague play. Ouch.
Last week, Joe Girardi was talking up Gardner as a possible All-Star game candidate, but as important as he's been for the Yankees, he is just hitting 275, and Joe said today he was disappointed. He said, but the 4 days off certainly will help him as well. And Paul mentioned it earlier. This guy really bangs up his body every single day he plays. Speed, sliding, swing and a miss. So he has now struck out in 15 straight games, and that ties a Yankee record. He holds it jointly with Stan Bronson and Alex Rodriguez. Yankees lead 1-0. Your medical center, Inspired Medicine. All going around the league. A.J. Burnett activated from the 15-day DL on the first-place Pirate team. And he's going to pitch against the Cubs today. Lance Berkman was put on the 15-day DL with hip inflammation. And Brent Lawrie rehab game today with AA New Hampshire with an ankle problem he's coming back from.
Just a Yankee year. Look, even the ex-Yankees are getting hurt.
I'm telling you, hip is the new hip injury.
Is that right? A couple of years ago was the oblique.
Get that pizza working. I can hear it in your mouth right now.
Man, leave me alone.
The Lincoln scoreboard. Yankees lead 1-0.
Yeah, you should worry about the scoreboard.
Pitch inside. I lose both of you guys after today's game. A quick stop and then gone.
How many days you take off? I'm surprised I hit up with you this weekend, you know?
You have got some nerve. Let's compare schedules.
Get Kenny's highlighter over there. He's got all the day's highlights.
Yeah, I know exactly where I'm going to be throughout the whole season.
The 1-2. As Robert swings and misses.
That was a nasty splitter.
We talked about it early, Kenny. I mean, he uses his slider a lot to righties and his split finger to lefties. And here's a good one. In the zone and then gone. And as a hitter on TV, it's like, how could you swing at that pitch? But as a hitter, this ball out of his hand looks like a strike, and this dives into the dirt.
You know, years ago when Gaylord Perry was out there throwing pitches, like you knew exactly what it was. He had loaded it up. It was an illegal pitch.
And he still got into the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, he did. Well, people want to know what was he doing out there? He had Vaseline somewhere on his body. The umpires even gave up looking for it. And what he would do, he'd put it on one side, but made the ball heavy on one side. When he threw it, he knew exactly how, and it would just dip. When it got to, the late Bobby Mercer didn't like hitting against Gaylord Perry.
I don't know if you remember this, Kenny, but I remember growing up, the Yankees faced Gaylord Perry, and Bobby was obsessed with Gaylord Perry. It really bothered him that he was allowed to load up the ball. And the game was on Monday Night Baseball on ABC. And they must have trained 30 cameras on Gaylord Perry trying to pick something up, and they couldn't do it as Nate McLeod grounds out the Cano. All right, here is Manny Machado, and Kenny's got the hitter scouting report on.
Yeah, this young man's having a tremendous year. We told you he's made the All-Star team, and he just turned 21. He's got 34 multi-hit games. He's among the league leaders. Mike Trout's up there, Miguel Cabrera. But one thing that they haven't done that he has done, he's the king of the road. He's got more hits on the road than anybody else in Major League Baseball. 66 of his hits have come on the road. And Boog Powell, I know you appreciate this, that Manny set a record the last Sunday against the Yankees. When he hit a home run, he had the most home runs before the age of 21 in Oriole history, and he broke Boog Powell's record.
And this time he fouls out, grounds out to Cruz, and the Orioles go down in order. Live Yes Network Yankee games on your PCs or laptops with Optimum Online. Get a full season of live Yankee games on the go for just $29.99. And if you're an Optimum customer who watches Yes on Optimum TV, go to YesNetwork.com to get more information and subscribe now. 1-0 Yankees as we head to the bottom of the third. Ichiro will lead it off. It'll be Ichiro, Cano, and Hafner.
Good ball there, and first time up, Ichiro struck out. Very surprising. Look at some of his lifetime stats. Hit .435. Hamill coming into the game.
Paul and Kenny, I am going to restore your faith in humankind right now as you see the Lincoln scoreboard 1-0 Yankees.
Gotcha.
Meredith Markakis after the game yesterday, after the Yankee game, drove to Scranton.
That was impressive in itself,
right.
wasn't it?
It's a long day. But she rented a car so she could drive to Scranton. Grounded to third. And Machado gets Ichiro. Anyway, when she returned the rental car, she had left a bracelet that was very special to her in the cup holder. Her mom had given her that bracelet.
Oh, no.
So she said, that's it, I'll never see it again. She called up the rental car agency, and they said, we have it, and we'll save it for you. You just come by and pick it up.
Come back and rent another car.
Love stories like that.
Love that. You don't hear them enough.
No.
It's a beautiful Christmas story, Meredith.
Isn't it, though?
Yes.
Meredith, you're in the upper deck again.
It's like you can make a Lifetime movie out of that one, right? I thought it was gone, Michael, 100%. Thought that thing was long gone by now.
What were you going to tell your mom?
I wasn't going to say anything. I was going to wait until she asked.
If you wait long enough, she'll never remember, believe me.
Exactly.
How was that drive to Scranton, Meredith?
Wasn't bad.
Was Derek happy to see you?
I mean, I don't know that I'd say that, but he was very gracious. He gave me an interview, one-on-one interview that we heard from him in the pregame show. So you'll hear a little bit more about that later in the game broadcast here. But he's a guy that's very anxious to get back up here.
I don't know if you noticed, Meredith, but you just got photobombed back there. Did you see him scampering back there in the back?
There's Jim Parente back there.
Cano hits one to left field. Going back, Dickerson. He's on the track. He'll make the play for the second out.
I was watching the interview yesterday, and the thing that I was impressed with, I mean, not everybody gets an interview with Derek Jeter, but the color coordination of you and Jeet, amazing.
That's amazing. Look at that.
Look at that.
It's like
even the microphone got in on it.
Let's wear the same color for this interview.
Well, we clearly planned that, right? Okay, no, we didn't. Not at all. But it worked out. It worked out.
Well, a good job, and I heard you escaped the Kid Rock concert traffic, too.
You know what, Michael? Something about that Kid Rock traffic. Going there, I would have been there 5 minutes before first pitch. I left the stadium right away. I thought, this one's going to be a little dicey, but I bet I'll get there on time. So much Kid Rock traffic that I wound up getting there after the first pitch was thrown. So I was a little disappointed about that. And I didn't know that so many people are still into Kid Rock. Who knew?
Kind of a rough crowd, too, you know.
I saw some things, Paul. I saw some things.
Music, Pennsylvania, right? Is that where?
Music, PA.
Yeah.
Count 0-2. We're going to hear a little bit more from Meredith during the game, so stick around for that. But we're glad she got her bracelet back. Jim Parente is going to join us in the fifth inning since he photobombed Meredith.
You're going to come in on the Turkey Hill scene or something.
There's a base hit to left center field as Hafner with a two-out single.
You know, the Yankees, I don't know how many years they've been in Scranton Wilkes-Barre, but the team before that was the Philadelphia Phillies. That's where they had their AAA affiliate. As we watched Hafner pick up a base hit. And I can recall going to see a game there. And as I was leaving, it was towards the end of the baseball season, they were saying, well, we'd like to try and get the Yankees to come to Scranton Wilkes-Barre. And the first thing I told them, you better get that artificial surface off the field because the Yankees aren't going to put any of their prospects on that field. And sure enough, they changed it over to natural surface.
I was talking to a lot of the writers that made the trip down there yesterday. John Harper, the Daily News, said it's really a beautiful facility. Yeah. Really nice.
What Hafner's hit right there, that's what you really like to see when he's trying to, get back to true form and taking that sinker down and away and driving it up the middle, not trying to pull it all the time. Good swing, good at bat.
Yeah, he's well over a 300 hitter against Baltimore in his career.
Nothing like the circle line.
What percentage do you think are tourists on it, Michael?
That one is lined to left field. You're going to have to stick around for the fourth inning. I'll give you the exact number as Almonte lines out to left. No runs, a hit, no errors, one man left. Let's count now. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's a New Yorker. 5, XNY Quit for free help today. Mariano Rivera's 13 All-Star selections are the most among all relievers in Major League history. Who's the only pitcher with more selections? We'll find that out. And the best I could come up with, Kenny, I think 5% of the people on the Circle Line actually live in the area.
And you know what?
But that's just a guess.
You and I both grew up around here.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember how many times you went to see the Statue of Liberty? I mean, it's right there in the harbor.
Benjamin Moore, 1-0, their scoreboard. I have never been to the Statue of Liberty, but I have been on the Circle Line.
I went to the Statue of Liberty once because my cousins from Chicago were there. When I was maybe 10 years old.
What's wrong with you people, man? I've been there a couple times.
Well, you see it every day. You see it. It's more of a tourist attraction. And we appreciate it. Believe me.
Had my Kodak camera around my neck and everything. The Staten Island Ferry.
Count 2-1 now on Markakis.
Tell you what, it was an entry. You were talking about the minor leagues and things, and a couple weeks ago I went to see my nephew over in Staten Island. We had a day off, and I tell you, just the thought of being in the minor leagues, looking at the city across the water of where you want to be, you know?
Yeah.
Kind of like you're stuck in Alcatraz trying to get back over to Frisco or something. It's just like that carrot's right in front of you, where you want to go.
I hope your nephew understands there's a few more stops between Staten Island and...
it's not a direct ferry. You're right.
Yeah. But that's the start.
It's kind of cool the way the Yankees have set up the minor league system. I mean, there are places obviously in Charleston and Tampa, but you can go Staten Island, the Trenton, the Scranton, Wilkes-Barre, right in the vicinity.
Yeah.
Markakis wraps one to right field. It's a base hit. Ichiro will have to dig it out from underneath the padding as Markakis gets himself a leadoff double.
Ichiro 0 for 2 out there is good hops where he's going to have a chance to throw somebody out. This ball actually got stuck under the padding, but you know, we saw it yesterday. Markakis had some good at bats. He wasn't getting hits, but you see that ball just stick there. Sure double.
Yeah, Markakis since early May, over 50 games, been a 300 hitter, so he's been pretty consistent for these Orioles. And you see Buck Showalter leads him off against lefties and puts him back in the third spot against the righties.
There's Adam Jones. Yankees have a 1-0 lead. Nice play by Kuroda. Holds the runner at second. Gets the out at first.
I'll tell you what, it's a great read by Markakis, too. A lot of times, as soon as that ball's hit, you get too far off. You end up getting picked off. Kuroda does a good job at looking him back. But right here, you see he froze, and he read the play. Didn't get cut off the base. So easy to just, you know, take a couple steps, and then you're dead.
Yeah, I looked at that was Markakis' 18th double of the year, and I looked. I said that's pretty good. Then I looked up the hitter just in front of him alphabetically is Machado, and it says 39. I said, well, maybe that's not so good.
That's pretty good for a year right there, 39. But you know, I'm just looking up and down their order. I mean, they have so many guys that can hurt you: doubles, home runs, average, balance. I mean, their everyday lineup very strong.
I think it helps them so much to be playing in a hitter's park like Camden Yards because you take that attitude with you on the road wherever you go. That we're a good hitting team. We're going to continue to hit wherever we go.
It hurts them a little in the sense that they have pitching that's not quite top flight. And I think we mentioned it in the first game. They've also given up the most home runs.
Yeah.
One of the great home run seasons for the Orioles is Brady Anderson's season in 1996, and this is what he did before the All-Star break that year. He had 30 home runs. Davis already has 33.
I think the total at the bottom there, the RBI total, is a little askew because Brady Anderson was the leadoff hitter, and Davis is the cleanup hitter. And He's been hitting 400 with runners in scoring position all year.
Brady Emerson still with the organization.
Yeah.
Saw him down in the locker room before the game.
And Brady set the club record for home runs that year with 50.
It's quite an honor for Davis to get the most votes, because before the game he was decked out in an all-star American League uniform and he had to go upstairs for a photo shoot. So probably a big thrill for this guy who had a nice season last year but never has matched the numbers he put up in the minor leagues, and this year it's come together for him.
First time all-star.
Grounded to Cano in short right field, and they get Davis for the second out as Markakis moves to third.
You notice how Robbie caught that ball, and he could see the ball was coming towards the lip of the grass, and he laid back. He could have come on a little more, charged a little harder, but he was playing it, and if it was going to hit the lip and give him a bad hop, so he stayed back. It did not, but he played it carefully because he could see what was coming. The lip of the grass, if the ball hits it just right, it's going to take an erratic hop. So he laid back and made the play.
I'm watching that slow motion, you know, the Yesmo and the ball bounding through the grass, and I just look at you. I mean,
looks
did
easy.
did you realize? I mean, when it was happening, did you guys realize how blessed you were? That, I mean, that's the way you made your living, playing baseball. How cool that is.
Not second base.
There wasn't much of a living to be made for me at second base, but you know, to your point, there's not a day that goes by that you don't look back and something reminds you of playing in the major leagues.
Grounded up the middle. Cano is there. And that'll do it. So the leadoff double does not hurt the Yankees. No run to hit. One man left. We go to the bottom of the fourth inning. Overbay will lead it off. The Yankees lead 1-0. Coverage brought to you by DirecTV. If you call yourself a sports fan, you got to get DirecTV. Call 1-800-DirecTV. All right, we go to the bottom of the fourth inning. Lyle Overbay will lead off as the Yankees lead 1-0 on the Benjamin Moore scoreboard. Popped up. Machado. Nice range there. He makes the play in front of Dickerson for the first out. Time for the answer to the New York State Smokers Quit Line quiz. It was about Mariano's 13 All-Star selections, the most among all relievers in Major League history. Who's the only pitcher with more selections?
Noldie?
Warren Spahn. Wow.
And when you consider that Warren Spahn started his career almost at the age of about 25, 26 because of wartime. He started very late, and the numbers he put, take a look, all you younger fans out there, call it up on your iPad and take a look at Warren Spahn's numbers. They are extraordinary.
The winningest left-handed pitcher ever.
Oh, 2.
It's one of those swings you got to get out of your mind real quick, and he's like, wow, I just turned the page on that one.
Seems like he's kind of reaching for that pitch outside.
It's almost like you want to change bats because this one's not working anymore.
You got fooled, and that one you fouled off, but you're still fooled again.
I think early in the week, Kenny, it was the anniversary.
Yeah, you're right, Michael.
Of Spahn against Marichal, where they both pitched 16 innings.
Yeah.
And the Giants won 1-0.
Yeah. Willie Mays hit a home run to win the game. But the thing about it, during the course of the game, the Giants manager wanted to take Marichal out of the game. And Warren Spahn was about 42 years old. And Marichal said, I'm not coming out of the game till that old man comes out of the game. And they both went 16 innings. And in those days, they pitched on 3 days rest. He pitched again on the 4th day. And Spahn came out 4 days later and threw a shutout against the next team.
Cruz strikes out for the second out here in the bottom of the 4th.
You always talk about things that records that won't be broken and things like that. You know, Cal Ripken's comes to mind because guys just don't play every day anymore. And to me, Cy Young, 500 and some wins. Guys don't get that many starts. But to pitch 16 innings now with pitch counts and things like that, they don't let guys go that long.
Yeah, it never happened. Yeah. I don't think it would ever happen. I think managers start to get twitchy when they see 90 pitches. Right?
Yeah, they start getting the bullpen ready, see if the lines are open.
Are you guys surprised that Nunez has come up here and getting so many good swings? I mean, he's come right off the bus from.
I think Michael kind of touched on it yesterday, just how excited he is to be back, and you know he doesn't look rusty at all.
No,
he's been on every pitch.
Hopped on that Amtrak at Trenton, got into New York, and started swinging the bat.
I mean, even the takes there. I mean, that take right there, sure, it's a bad pitch, it's a curveball hanging, but he's not out front, he's not opening up. Can add a lot to this team, and anytime you bring somebody back, you bring a rookie up, something, you can kind of get a shot in the arm when they get off to a good start.
You know that Jeter coming back is on the horizon, and strangely, Joe was asked, would Nunez play third? He said no. They are dead set against him playing any position but shortstop. So Nunez, when Jeter comes back, is essentially going to have to spell Jeter, because I'm sure Derek's not going to play every single day, coming off 2 broken ankles essentially, and the age of 39. But they just have an aversion to having Nunez play different positions. They think it's hurt him in the past. 3-2.
Oh, wow, that was a good swing on the 3-2 breaking ball. Once again, as Paul pointed out, a little bit of a hanger. It's up some. He was right on time, just underneath it.
Chopped over the mound, going to be a very tough play. Hardy cannot get Nunez, who has an infield single. So a sac fly, and now an infield single, and the famous helmet flies off.
Yeah, about halfway down, 45 feet, he lightened the load, and then he was able to beat it out for the base hit. Nunez, this little chopper, once it gets by Hamels, then the race is on. Here comes Hardy. Too late. Nunez well across the bag. Looks like there it is, halfway down. It happens at the same spot every time he runs out of the box.
That'd be pretty fast to run out of your helmet. You know that? I grew up in Cincinnati, or grew up close to Cincinnati, where Pete Rose, it was always, every time he ran in for a double or a triple, that the helmet came off, the hair was flying.
You know what? We got to keep track of Nunez's helmet ejections over the years. Yeah, well, every time he runs, it happens. So.
That puts us at 100%.
Yeah, right?
It's got to be that the helmet's a little big, because other people run hard and they don't fly out from under the helmet. His helmet must be a size bigger than it should be. There's a strike to Stewart.
A lot of times as a hitter, you'll give a base stealer a pitch to steal on it, and it looks like Stewart was doing that there. He took a good pitch to hit, possibly giving Nunez a shot to steal a base, but he didn't go.
Two.
Love it when you take two pitches and then now you're 0-2.
No. That's a simple answer.
One was enough?
Yeah. No. You felt you were at the mercy of the pitcher when it was no balls and 2 strikes. He could do whatever he wanted to.
But, they chose to go up and out of the zone with a fastball, knowing that Nunez can steal. You don't throw that curveball in the dirt. You've got a base stealer out there.
Two and two.
Just saw a good stop by Wieters to hold Nunez at first. Now Wieters not having the offensive year that the Orioles thought he was going to have, but he's still the reigning Gold Glove catcher in the league, and that's how he helps his team. He's more so this year than he has with his bat.
Runner goes, and that one is blooped into center field, and it falls in front of Jones for a base hit. So Stewart's now 2 for 2, and the Yankees have runners on the corners for Brett Gardner.
You look at Adam Jones coming in there with 2 outs. You've got a decision to make, and as an outfielder, and Stewart doesn't get a lot of it. But with Nunez running, if he dives for this ball, doesn't come up with it, Nunez scores. So he's better off. Nunez is only in 3rd gear right there. He didn't even run out of his helmet.
It almost came off, though. That's a good call, Paul, about playing the outfield.
Yeah, pretty smart call for Jones. I mean, don't go hit the ground. If you don't come up with it, you give up a run. Now 2 outs, you still give Hillman an opportunity to get out of this inning.
Gardner's 0 for 2 today. Fouled out to Machado and then struck out. Fouled away.
We're in the 4th inning and check the pitch count. We've talked about that time and time. Well, just about every game we talk about it nowadays. But, it's up to 86 already for Hamilton. He's already beaten the Yankees twice this year.
In 4 innings, he's already had 3 20-plus pitch innings.
mentioned Hamill has won twice. Only one Oriole pitcher has beaten the Yankees 3 times in one season in the last 33 years. That was Daniel Cabrera in 2008.
Fly ball left field. Dickerson will put it away, and the threat goes by the boards. No runs, 2 hits, and 2 left. Let's go to the 5th. 1-0 Yanks. Yankees as we go to the 5th. Did you hear, Kenny, the horror story yesterday in the studio? Lorenz and Jack Curry under hot lights had to do the show. No air conditioning. The air conditioning broke.
Oh, I'm out.
So they both actually wore shorts. And they wore shorts but with suits on top. And Bob actually tweeted out pictures of it yesterday.
It's a little behind-the-scenes things.
Yeah.
I'd love to know, Mike.
Well, I hope they get it fixed before I get back up there.
Here's J.J. Hardy. He's one of 7 major leaguers who have started every single one of their team's games this year. In fact, 3 of the 7 are on the Orioles. J.J. Hardy, Manny Machado, and Adam Jones. And the others are Prince Fielder, Hunter Pence, Alexi Ramirez, and Robinson Cano.
I think we talked about that yesterday, Michael. It's one of the things about the Orioles. They have a pretty young team. A lot of their best players are still in their 20s, and you can just about run those guys out there all the time. You don't have to manage their innings or number of games. Machado had played every inning until he got tossed out of the game about a week or so ago.
And with Cano, Girardi likes to rest his players, keep them fresh, but it's almost been, not even almost, it's out of necessity. If you would take Cano out of the lineup, the Yankees would run out there. There'd be very little damage factor in there, so they play Cano because they have to play Cano every day.
Yeah, he's got his respite as a DH.
Hardy with a pop-up. And Ichiro calls off Cano for the first out.
One of those games where you look at the scoreboard, the Yankees are up 1-0, but it just seems like Kuroda has much more of a handle on Baltimore's offense than Hillman does on the Yankees right now. It's just like Hillman is struggling a little bit, where Kuroda just looks like he's absolutely cruising. Split fingers against lefties, staying ahead with his fastball, sliders against righties.
And here's Dickerson. He grounded out to first. That was in the second. Count 1-0. Dickerson, a member of the Yankees in 11 and 12. 85 games with the Yankees, hit 266 over those 2 years.
Got some tools. He can run, play defense. And every once in a while you throw one in his wheelhouse.
Knows what to do there, too.
Put a charge into it. And I think it helps as the Yankees knew he could play every one of the outfield positions, as you can give somebody rest if you want to. As today, McLeod is a designated hitter and Dickerson's in left field.
See what Kuroda has been doing, getting ahead with the sinker in and out, and then going to that split finger to try to put guys away, especially the lefties.
Two.
That was a good swing. That
was a bad pitch,
yeah,
too. That's the one that kind of hangs, doesn't quite get where it's supposed to be. Slider with very little movement.
Now you got to remember that Dickerson doesn't play all the time, so he's not really honed in like somebody like Chris Davis.
Swing and a miss.
So he came right back and made a better pitch with it and struck him out.
That's a splitter, and you can see the movement of that. It just goes away. You see the split finger fastball. Absolutely perfect. The logo, and then you see it's got that spin and it just sinks away.
Brian Roberts takes a strike. Kenny, I just got a text from Bob Lorenz.
Yeah.
AC is still out. He said, tell him to pack his shorts if he's coming soon.
Bring a couple of fans with me.
I'll tell you what, though. Now Bob gives another update in the 7th inning. I think he's got to show some leg.
You know what? They got to get it fixed because all that chocolate he has in his office is going to melt.
That's right.
I sat in the Oval Office up there from Stanford. Bring back some memories from the old time.
The 1-2 inside 2-2.
He wasn't going to miss without out over the plate. He really drove that ball in. And again, as a left-handed hitter, when you stride, your weight's on your front leg. Tough to get out of the way.
Just got a piece.
I've got a piece of home plate umpire Jerry Davis, too. He's shaking that right hand. Well, you can see it's a hot day here in the city. Home plate umpire. Ouch. You got to find a way to hydrate after the game.
What dinner's all about, right? Dinner with Mike. Did you get invited to the terrace last night?
Yeah, I did, but I wanted to go see the baby, but the baby was sleeping. So
fly ball, center field, backing up. Gardner still back, and he makes the play on the track. That ball continued to travel. We are halfway through here at a steamy Yankee Stadium. It's 1-0 Bombers. today. Get a great deal on a new Elantra at Hyundai's 4th of July sales event. And by Benjamin Moore for everything that matters. Yankees lead 1-0 as we go to the bottom of the 5th. Let's check out the McDonald's upcoming schedule as we lead you right into the All-Star break. This week, you got 4 games against Kansas City, 3 night games, a matinee on Thursday, and then Friday, Saturday, and Sunday against the Twins. First half is then over. All-Star break is 4 days for the Yanks. And then they start the second half with 3 against the Red Sox in Boston.
Is that scheduling there, or does everybody have 4 days off?
No, some teams have 3 days off.
Yeah, because it was a fit. I mean, it used to be always just 3 days, which in the middle of the season seemed like a long time, didn't it? A 3-day break you look forward to.
Ichiro takes outside. Yankees lead 1-0. Now 2-0. Hamill has not had great command today. That's why he's thrown 90 pitches. No outs here in the bottom of the 5th. Chopped slowly to first. Foul ball.
In only 1 inning, the Yankees have gotten the leadoff man on, though, and that was in the second when they scored. The leadoff walk to Almonte, and he scored on the sac fly by Nunez. So the Yankees have been forced to come up with a lot of 2-out hits today, and they haven't been able to get them.
Fly ball right field as Markakis puts it away for the first out. This copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the New York Yankees and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. The accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the New York Yankees.
I got to tell you, and I told you a couple of years ago, I've never heard that word used in any other thing other than when you read it.
Disseminate?
Yeah.
I'm going to try to get it into your everyday life. I'll figure out a way.
Think it'll help me?
No. Here's Cano. He has walked and also hit a fly ball to left. Pitch outside. Hamill closing in on 100 pitches. The Oriole relief pitchers certainly must like the heat because they could actually be in air-conditioned quarters, and they're out there. Well, yeah, they're just watching, sitting on the bench up there, soaking in the. I guess, you know, they're used to Baltimore weather. This isn't that bad. Yankees, though, they're under glass.
Kuroda's got things in hands right now. Robbie got a good pitch to hit there, and Hillman continues to miss up in the zone. Ichiro had a good kind of hanging breaking ball. He's got a lot of outs today on some mistakes, which you don't see a lot in Major League field.
Actually, according to my calculations on my phone here, it's warmer here than it is in Baltimore today.
Really?
Not by much. 1 degree.
You know what? Baltimore throws that humidity in on that the harbor there. It just
Michael loves it.
Kind of sits there. Look at that. The thermometer got so hot it blew its top.
That one is drilled to right field. And it's one hop up against the base of the wall as Cano just gets a single.
Well, he held himself to a single there by hitting the ball so hard.
See, even though he's full here, he stays through it. He doesn't come around it. Sees that it's not going to hook foul, but Markakis Must be his good day out there. He gets the good carom off the wall. Robbie knows at this point, well, it's a long single.
He's getting the hops that Eachrill wasn't getting in right field. Uh-oh. Getting a little toasty. He might be going into the AC.
Now, Paul, I got to correct something because I was just told, and I did not know this, so I was wrong. The new collective bargaining agreement states that you have to have the 4 days off of the All-Star break.
Oh, is that right?
It used to be 3, so I stand corrected. I thought it was 3, and the Yankees the last couple of years have had 4.
Right.
Yeah, and some of the other teams have had 3.
Mm-hmm. So now it's everybody gets 4, which is great.
One more day at the beach with the fans.
I was going to say, gives Michael another day in the Hamptons.
Oh.
Well, you're making sure your presence is felt until you come back in August, huh?
It's a quick. I got to get them all in, man. It's a quick 3 days out.
I think you've done a good job. Count 1 and 2 to half.
Just sit here and listen to you guys. This is good.
That is chopped to the third baseman Machado. Against 1 on to first. It's a double play. So that'll do it for the Yankees in the 5th. Derek Jeter, the Yankee captain, is in Scranton. And we are going to have an update from Meredith Markakis in just a moment. Stay right where you are. Was that? Of the season, the Yankees are bringing back the player bobblehead series, and it's Derek Jeter bobblehead night, the first in the new collectible series presented by AT&T. For tickets, log on to Yankees.com, visit the stadium ticket window, Yankees clubhouse shops, or call Ticketmaster at 877-469-9849. Speaking of Derek Jeter, we are going to bring in Meredith Markakis as Nate McLeod leads off, and there's a strike. Meredith, what's the latest on Derek, because he was the DH today in Scranton?
Well, Michael, they started off at 1 o'clock today, so he's had 3 at-bats already today. In the first one, he worked a walk for the second consecutive time. Second at-bat, he singled sharply to left field. He also made his way around the bases in that one, eventually went on to score a run in that third at-bat, struck out swinging. They're in the 6th inning right now, so it looks as though he'll get at least one more at-bat so far this afternoon.
Now, you were there last night, as we mentioned earlier, and Jerry Davis, the home plate umpire, is being tended to by one of the Yankee trainers, Mark Littlefield. It is a hot day there for the home plate umpire. I don't know if he got hit.
Yeah, he did. Second inning in a row. He's taken one this time on the left arm, I believe.
Oh, wow.
That can't feel
good. That really got him. All right, let's go back to Meredith with Derek. You were there yesterday, Meredith. What did you see with your eyes? I mean, what could you tell us about how Derek looked, running wise and things like that?
Well, Michael, you really didn't see too much from him. He did play 5 innings in the field, but didn't get many opportunities in the field. It was the last out of the last play in the 5th inning that he actually got an opportunity, and it came right to him. So you didn't see any lateral movement there, but you see him running out of the box on that one. Didn't seem as though he was going 100%, but said afterwards that ankle's feeling okay. So you wonder if it's going to take a little bit of time for him mentally to get over that injury and to be able to kind of bust out of the box to first base. But the biggest thing is he's saying he feels okay and that he can continue to progress to the next level. So DHing today, they'll go from there thereafter, probably an off day tomorrow, and then he'll likely go back out in the field and play another 5 innings. So that's what they're looking for right now. Can he move laterally okay? What's he doing when he's running out of the batter's box? And you really just didn't get to see all that much from him yesterday.
Now, when you spoke with him in the interview that we had on the pregame show, he sounds like he's ready to be here today. So are they going to have to hold him back? Because when we're talking to Girardi before the game, he kind of hinted at it probably going to be after the All-Star break.
Well, in the words of Derek Jeter, he would have been here yesterday had they let him come up here and start playing baseball. But he does realize that it is a process. He wants to get more at-bats under his belt. The Yankees want to see a little bit more from him. And you talked about what Joe Girardi had to say today. They don't want to rush him. They want to make sure this ankle's okay. They want to make sure that he's going to be a player for him, not just for a couple days, but for the rest of the season. And yes, you have a backup in Eduardo Nunez, and I can't imagine that Derek Jeter would come back here and play every day at shortstop. They're probably going to have to work him in slowly, give him some DH days, but they want to make sure that he's able to do everything. He's able to explode. He's able to move laterally. So I think that's going to take a little bit of time for him to prove that to the Yankees organization. And really, there's no need to rush it. You look at the built-in All-Star break, and I think Joe Girardi kind of hinted to that you kind of use that. That gives him an extra 4 days if he needs it. But it's one of those things where Derek Jeter's a guy that wants to be up here. He wants to help contribute, and he wants to be on the field with this team. So it's difficult for him to sit there in Scranton, Wilkes-Barre, watching this team, knowing he's so close, but not yet quite ready to be back.
2-1 count on Manny Machado. And that one has popped up. Overbay in foul territory will make the play for the second out. Now, Meredith, final thing, you were there, and the other story is that Michael Pineda pitched. How did he seem to you? I know he had a difficult first inning.
Well, it was the first. He was a little shaky. He actually walked 2 guys in that inning, but managed to settle down. He went 5 innings, allowed 2 runs on 4 hits, struck out 7 in the process. And, you know, it's one of those things where it's a number thing. He's coming off a shoulder surgery, probably not quite as sharp as he could be right now. Still getting some strikeouts. You wonder if that'll translate to this level. But you look at the rotation right now. Prior to Phelps going on the DL, there were 6 guys for 5 spots already. The Yankees continually say, look, we see him as a starter. He's not going to be coming out of the bullpen anytime soon. So it seems as though the Yankees will have no other option but to option Michael Pineda. That not official, but based on the numbers and based on the way he's thrown, you have to think maybe they want to see a little bit more, see him get a little bit better control, a little bit better command of his pitches prior to bringing him up here.
Well, Meredith, we thank you, and thank you for taking that ride yesterday.
It's my pleasure, Michael.
You know, you played with Derek, Paul. He does not want to be down there that long.
No, I mean, it's actually fun to go back down for a day or two, but then you realize, you know, what you work for to get to the major leagues and how much more fun it is to play where it really matters up here in the major leagues.
Oh, nice play by Almonte as he ran down that slicing line drive off the bat of Markakis. 9 in a row retired by Kuroda, and that was number 9 right there with Almonte's grab. We go to the bottom of the 6th, 1-0 Yanks. And cast your 2013 All-Star Game final vote. Also, anytime you use the hashtag #HighSoxForVotes on Twitter this week, that will count as a vote. So vote and tweet often to help send David Robertson to the All-Star Game at Citi Field. Voting ends at 4 p.m. Eastern Time on Thursday, July 11th. And we'll see what happens if David Robertson gets in. Well, Buck Showalter makes the call to the bullpen, brought to you by AT&T. So Jason Hamill is done with 6 innings, and they will turn to the left-hander T.J. McFarland. That one start was against the Yankees. He's 1-0, 4.50.
They got a no decision in that game, and Kevin Gausman came in relief, and Gausman got the win.
Here is Almonte. Pitch outside, so they allow Almonte, because it's just the 6th inning, to stay in there and bat right-handed against McFarland. Nice running play by Almonte to make the final out in the top of the 6th. Count 1-1.
You know, and I was talking about being a switch hitter, you first come up, and sometimes you don't get opportunities from one side. This is where you got to make your hay. You know, and I think one reason, as Michael said, they're going to let him hit because there's nobody on base. He doesn't have the opportunity to sending Wells up with a man on. So he's going to lead off the inning. Here's where you can show your manager, I can hit from this side of the plate too. Same sort of thing I went through last century.
Well, you look at Hillman, and he looked like he really battled today. I mean, didn't have great stuff, missed with a lot of location, but you look at the scoreboard. I mean, he held the Yankees to 1 run. So he definitely did enough for this team to keep them in this game and give them an opportunity to win.
Reaches out and grounds out one the short. Hardy gets Almonte running hard for the first out. Hamill, his day is done. You're happy about that, right, Paul?
What?
That Hamill's out?
Yeah, since I've called him about 5 different names today, yeah, I'm real happy. I do want to say he pitched a pretty good game. He's even laughing at me. Did you see that?
Yep.
Like, who's that dude up there?
Well, you combined. You had Tillman the other day, and
they
Hamill,
got me
and you made
mixed.
him Hillman.
Buck's he's playing tricks on me down there. I talked to Buck before the game a long time today. Still, just loves to sit there and talk baseball. You know what I have noticed about Buck, and you know, when you talk to him, you would think that he'd want to talk about the old days with the Yankees. He doesn't bring up old stuff. It's always current. What's going on now? And you know, as a manager, that's good. You know, he just continues to push this team forward. And Kenny, you said it. Wherever he goes, he seems to build a good team. And I don't think it's by accident.
Man can realizes who can play and who can't.
Check swing. He goes around.
And the ones that can't are not around very long.
See, they put a compression sleeve on Jerry Davis after being hit with that foul ball. Hopefully it does not swell up in that area. That one is off McFarland. And they still get Overbay in the second out.
The ball hits him and goes the other way. It's going to be a tougher play, but because the ball ricochets towards the first base bag, what, hit him in the back pocket, and he just flips it over to Davis for the out.
That play in the World Series where Reggie stuck out that back pocket to get hit in the base bat, that was almost kind of the same thing right there.
Yeah, that was against the Dodgers. Tommy Lasorda's still mad about that.
Off the glove of Machado, he regains and fires. Somehow got him.
Whoa.
What a play by Manny Machado, and what an arm. Check this out one more time.
I'll tell you one thing, it's this, he knocks it down okay, but to be able to barehand this as you're running towards there and throw a bullet, let me take you out here, Miker. What a play. See you next inning.
Well, it certainly was, and I believe at the end of the year the Orioles are going to come up with a highlight play of what Manny Machado's been able to do at third base, and this play is definitely going to be near the top 3 because he's made some fantastic plays. You have to remember, he came up as a shortstop, and look at the reaction of Luis Cruz. I mean, how did he do that? It's like he can't believe it.
Let's see how it looks on Yes View. Spin it.
It's like he's out. That's what it looks like. And it wasn't knocking the ball down, but wow, look at that.
It was the throw.
Yeah.
That's what. I don't know if there's anybody else in the league could make that play at third base. I severely doubt it.
Kuroda deals to Adam Jones. 1-0.
Maybe Adrian Beltre, but he might be the only one. He's the reigning Gold Glover.
How about the job by Kuroda? You see the Cadillac scoreboard. He's up 1-0 as we start at the top of the 7th. He's pitching a 3-hitter. And Jones with a high pop-up to left field. Almonte makes a play. This was the guy that there was concern because of his hip. And he was supposed to start Friday, was scratched. Nova started, pitched the complete game victory. But when he got the MRI midway through the week and found out that everything was fine, he started texting Girardi, I can start, I can start, I can start. So finally they moved him into the role today, and he's done an outstanding job against a very good hitting team.
Worked out for Girardi, there's no doubt about it. Getting Nova that other start for a complete game. Put him back into the rotation for now. Phelps going on the DL.
Davis is grounded out to second twice, and again the Yankees shift for Davis with Cano playing on the outfield grass. Count 2-0. Tomorrow the Yankees continue their tradition, which has been such a great thing that the organization does. They will start Hope Week again. where they touch the lives of people that have really gone up against the odds and persevered. And each year that the Yankees have done it, the stories have been more emotional, more uplifting at the same time. And it all begins again tomorrow. And the Yankee organization, everybody takes part in this, and we'll cover every aspect of it as well. Three and one.
You can tell Kuroda, he's been ahead of everybody, but he's still in a 1-0 game going to be very careful to Davis. This is the one guy from the left-hand side that, you know, if you kind of hang that split finger or don't quite get that two-seamer in, but you've got to tie a game.
There's a ground ball to the shortstop, and Nunez guns him down for the second out.
Kenny, there's one thing about being a pitcher with a lead, and there's one thing about pitching a 1-0 game. I mean, you're one pitch away. You really, really have to be careful. You're down to 8 outs now. You got Mariano in the 9th, but I tell you what, he has done a great job today mixing up his pitches and just keeping a good hitting team. A team pretty much all series. The Yankees have pitched pretty well.
I think you really see the reason why the Yankees are where they are at this point in the season, because it's been their pitching that's kind of carried the load. I know in Minnesota they had a nice little outbreak of offense outside of the one game.
I tell you, so many teams are touted throughout the year that, you know, and you see what happens. They put up so many runs against mediocre pitching, and then all of a sudden they get in the playoffs and things change a little bit. It's because you're facing better pitching, and better pitching is going to slow down a good offense. No doubt about it.
Kuroda won 3-1 on Davis, and I mention it only because that was just the second 3-ball count of the game for him. And that's why he has 83 pitches here with 2 outs in the 7th. Yankees with 6 hits, the Orioles with just 3. The 2-1 to Wieters.
Like Wieters is trying to open up, and he hammered that ball to right field earlier for a double. Last swing, he looked like he was trying to reach the seats. You remember yesterday, he hit the ball out to left center field. So here's a guy that can cover that plate.
And he walked. And that is the first walk of the game for Kuroda.
One-run game, obviously you're not, you know, you're going to take every pitch serious, and as a manager you've got to make that call when you're starting to see a guy that's just been cruising throughout the whole game. And all of a sudden, you know, the heat, whatever,
some red flags start to pop up.
Yeah, the door hasn't popped open yet though. So
here's J.J. Hardy. 1-0. David Robertson starting to stretch.
Almost like those late inning relievers have a built-in clock. They can sense their time is near.
And a strike.
It's like the great pinch hitters of years ago. They had a built-in clock. They could see how the game was going. I played with one, Terry Crowley. Earned himself the nickname the King of Swing. And he'd come down, sit next to you on the bench, and say, how's the ball moving? His fastball sinking? You know, and he's getting ready for his at-bat. He wants to know what's going on.
Gardner right there will make the play, and that will do it. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 man left at the end of 6.5. It's time for the 7th inning stretch here in the Bronx. Yankees 1, Orioles nothing, but we'll stay right where we are to honor America here at Yankee Stadium.
Ladies and gentlemen, will you please rise and remove your caps and direct your attention to the area behind home plate. And welcome two honored guests of the New York Yankees. New York Air National Guard Captain Kathleen Celino Rios, who served in Operation Enduring Freedom, and United States Army Master Sergeant Angel Chavez, who served in the global war on terrorism. The Yankees say thank you for your sacrifice and service to our nation. Now, ladies and gentlemen, please join in Kate Smith's rendition of God Bless America.
Making life more entertaining with America's fastest, most reliable internet that's powerful. Jeremy Guthrie, 7-6 for the Royals. A 4-game set starts tomorrow night at the stadium. Phil Hughes for the Yankees, 4-7, 4.55. Our coverage will begin at 6 with the batting practice show, and pregame's at 6:30, and first pitch at the stadium right around 7:07. Guthrie and Hughes, Shields and Sabathia. How about Shields, a 3.23 ERA, 3-6. Wade Davis against Nova, and Urban Santana against Andy Pettitte. And by the way, Royals not exactly a pushover anymore.
No.
They play better baseball. They're closing in on 500, just 43 or 41-43 entering today. And 6 games back in the Central.
I think if you look at you saw Shields' DRA, I would bet you his run support is worse than anybody else on the rotation.
Cadillac scoreboard 1-0. Yankees over the O's. And McFarland takes a base hit away from Nunez for the first out. That was headed to center field.
Well, you put McFarland on top of the mound, and that makes him even taller than the 6'3" that he is. He's able to haul that ball in.
Now you see Robertson out there, and the question the Yankees have to ask themselves, as good as Robertson is, do you really want to take out Kuroda, who's got a pitch count in the 80s right now, and really has not at all struggled So will it be an automatic, okay, Robertson pitches in the 8th with the lead, or will they stay with Kuroda?
Paul and I were talking about that in between innings, and we were saying the ball's starting to creep up a little bit from Kuroda. Now, he's gotten to this point pitching pretty well. He's had a few more fly ball outs the last few innings. And you got two guys out there in the 8th and 9th that are kind of like knockout artists, you know, just.
Yeah, I think you manage this game differently. If it's 4-0, 5-0, sure. But I mean, a 1-0 game, a mistake, it's a tie game.
Let's see what happens. Robertson's up there for a reason. Mike, you might be right. They let Kuroda start the inning, but the first sign of trouble. But usually with Robertson, they like him to come in at the start of an inning. How many pitches does Kuroda have?
88.
Yes.
Perfect day for Stewart. Continues 2 for 2 now with a walk. Also, just off the beaten path, guys, I've never seen Larry Rothschild's hair look better than it just did on the bench.
I was just going to say how relaxed you look as a pitching coach when your guy's out there dealing, throwing a shutout.
It was phenomenal. There he is. Usually he's running his hands through his hair, worrying. Not today.
3-hit shutout.
Didn't even put a hat on it. He had such a good hair day.
He's playing around with a bat. This is a no stress day so far.
Figuring out how to get those things going.
Pitch to Gardner is inside.
You're right. He would feel a lot less stressful. The Yankees could tack on a few more runs here for Kuroda or Robertson. Orioles went out and picked up McFarland in the Rule 5 draft out of the Cincinnati organization. Looking for another lefty out of the bullpen. Cincinnati, or was it Cleveland? Maybe I know it was Ohio somewhere.
Round on the end,
It was from Cleveland. I know Columbus is in the middle, right?
Yeah.
You grew up in Columbus?
Uh-huh.
All right. So how far is it to Cleveland? How far is it to Cincinnati? You could either go north and see a game or go south and see a game.
Yeah, it's about a little over 2 hours to Cleveland.
Uh-huh.
About an hour and a half to Cincy.
Okay.
They were a much better team, so it was better to go south.
Now, when you were, look out, Killer. When you were a kid, were both of them on TV?
No, it was pretty much a red because when I started getting into baseball mid-70s, big red machine. I mean, that's what baseball was.
Okay.
There's Troy Patton getting ready. Popped up. And Dickerson puts it away. So Gardner's 0 for 4 days. A little bit of a slide now. 3 for 24.
Yeah, that's coming off a really, really hot streak. Played my last minor league game in Columbus.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Columbus went through a few different teams. Way back when I was young, they were the Jets, which was the Pittsburgh Pirates.
It was the Pirates when I came through there, yeah. Yogi
Berra's son played there, Dale Berra. I remember watching him in high school. Then they went to the Yankees. They were the Clippers. I think the Nationals have come into town.
Ichiro takes a strike from Farmer.
After a game, my manager was Chuck Hiller in those days. He used to play second base for the Giants, and he said he was talking to us after the game. He looked at me and said, "You're going to Chicago tomorrow." Chicago? What's it? Wow.
Yeah, that's a good thing.
Count 0-2 on Suzuki, who is 0 for 3 today. A strikeout, ground ball to third, and a fly ball to right.
And the thing about it, I went back to the hotel and called my mom and dad, let them know I got called up to the big leagues. They already knew about it.
Oh, was that right?
Well,
even back then?
Well,
before iPods and
yeah, exactly.
iPads and everything?
They were in New York, and that's where I was headed, yeah.
Picked off. And Stewart's in there. He got in ahead of the tag by Hardy.
Oh, Gary Darling, how does he find his way into this mess every single day out there?
Well, Stewart has a stolen base, his 4th of the year. And Buck is out there. Oh. Did he miss him?
No,
he didn't miss him.
Gary, that's a shame.
He is out.
Uh-oh. Buck's giving him a lesson here.
I tell you what, I mean, we have replays, there's no doubt about it. But, I mean, he's out by 2 feet. And I'm telling you what, this might not be the end of Buck. By the time he gets back and hears how blatant this call was, he might just make a U-turn. You see him hand that scorecard to one of his coaches, he's going back out.
Yeah, because he knows where his next stop will be.
So now, I mean, that's obviously a big stolen base. Ichiro can dunk a single left. Let's see it from this angle. Darling's in good position. Stewart thought he was out.
And you can see Brian Roberts waving to the dugout. Come on out here. We need some help.
Yeah. Send the backups.
Look at Markakis.
Freeze it.
And it doesn't come back to haunt the Orioles as Suzuki strikes out. No runs, no hits, 1 error by Gary Darling, and 1 man left on base. We go to the 8th, 1-0. Local Nissan dealer. Yankees lead 1-0 as we head to the 8th, and the only run, Nunez sac fly in the second. Kuroda, 7 innings of shutout ball. Hamill, 5 innings of 1-run ball. And we debated this, and Girardi is deciding that Kuroda is done.
Maybe it has to do with the hip issue. I'm not saying it's reoccurring, but maybe to keep it from doing so or overextending himself.
How about this? Maybe the heat comes into play.
Yeah, that's we're not even playing, and we can feel it.
He missed more pitches last inning than he had missed the whole game. And, you know, like I said, if it's 3-0, 4-0, okay. You know, you send him back out. But a 1-0 game, you go with your strength, you go with your best. Kuroda's threw a great game. Don't take that away from him, but go to Robertson and hopefully go to Mariano. Take your chances.
Now, this is one of those times where Robertson will face the weaker part of the order, 8, 9, and 1. And if he retires them in order, then Mo comes in and really has a bear of a stretch. Machado, Markakis, and Jones. But let's see what happens here in the 8th. First, the Hyundai scoreboard, 1-0 Yanks. So Kuroda, 88 pitches, 53 strikes, 1 walk, 4 strikeouts. And Dickerson bunts in the air, and it's caught by Cruz for the first out. So trying to push bunt, but couldn't get it down on the grass.
Yeah, he got underneath it, hung up long enough for Cruz to come in. He was already in on the grass. You can see him charging. And just a matter if he can get there in time. It was a fair ball. He catches on the fly, and there's 1 down.
There's Brian Roberts. Brian today is 0 for 2. Count 1-0. Robertson, one of the final 5 to make the All-Star team, and Yankees trying to get out the vote for him. You can vote at Yankees.com. There's a ground ball to Nunez, and he gets Roberts with the second out.
I'll tell you, Nunez has been just, I mean, we've talked about it, a shot in the arm offensively, and I mean, just to have him in the lineup, he looks like he's moving well. Get him making the plays at shortstop. He's always going to hit for you. He's got a quick bat.
We're looking at the revamped throwing delivery that he worked on in spring training with Mick Kelleher. Get rid of the ball more quickly. Used to have wind up and get it over there.
Nate McLeod takes a fastball up and away. Crowd of 40,218 well-baked souls here at Yankee Stadium. It is hot in this ballpark. It's hot all over the city. There's a strike.
I'll tell you what, when Robertson comes in and he has good control in that strike zone, I mean, he's tough. He's got an overpowering fastball. One of the better curveballs you'll see in the American League. It's the thing, you get caught as a hitter, kind of guess with him. Well, I saw a fastball, now I'm probably going to see that curveball, and then he throws hard enough, it just frees you up on another fastball.
Struck him out on a fastball. 9-pitch, 1-2-3 inning for David Robertson. We're going to the bottom of the 8th. Yankees holding on to a 1-0 lead. If you call yourself a sports fan, you got to get DirecTV. Call 1-800-DirecTV. 1-0 Yankees as we go to the bottom of the 8th. Yankees looking to sweep this series, return the favor what the Orioles did to them last weekend in Baltimore. You see on the Hyundai scoreboard, Yankees with 6 hits, the Orioles with 3. And it would also be the Yankees' 7th win in a row after a 5-game losing streak.
Buck Showalter's gone to a new pitcher, another left-hander. It's going to be Troy Patton. And Michael, we've talked about this pattern for the last little while here. Managers are bringing those left-handed pitchers in to face the Yankees.
So McFarland pitches 2 innings of scoreless ball, and now they bring in Patton to face Cano, Hafner, and Almonte. So the Yankees loaded with left-handed hitters, and lefties out of the bullpen are certainly important when you face this. You see Patton's numbers. And the Yankees are getting another left-hander as they have acquired, we told you earlier, Travis Ishikawa off waivers from these very same Orioles. Ishikawa, 29 years old, appeared in 6 games with the O's this season, 2 for 17. And Mo up early as you get ready for the 9th inning. Yankees made move on the 40-man roster to get Ishikawa on the roster by putting Youkilis on the 60-day DL. That one's popped up left side. Machado drifts over to make the play for the first out. And they will have to make a corresponding move to get Ishikawa on the 25-man roster. And you're better than me if you can figure out what that move is going to be. I'm not quite sure how they get Ishikawa on. So 1 down, and that's going to bring up Hafner. But they're going to pinch hit for Hafner, and they'll send up Vernon Wells.
You've talked about it throughout this series, Michael. Joe Girardi a little short-handed. Guys coming off the bench to swing the bat. You acquire another bat that you can kind of fit in with the piece, but you assumed it would be a right-hander. You got another lefty coming.
Yeah. You got a lefty first baseman. You have a lefty DH. So I'm not quite sure how Ishikawa fits in, but we'll find out soon enough. To vote for the Chevy part of the game, visit votechevy.com. Results will be revealed in the post-game show. So they're going to bring in the right-hander O'Day to counteract Vernon Wells. So Patton came in just for 1 batter, and that was Cano. And there's a good chance that Girardi knew this was going to happen, so he wanted one of these guys having a bat that favors them. Either Wells against the lefty or Almonte against the righty. And that's what he's going to get. Yankees Baseball on Yes is brought to you in part by Ford, the official truck of the New York Yankees. So Buck goes to Darren O'Day, who has very good numbers. And Kenny, the numbers for Wells against O'Day, not awful.
Not too. He's 3 for 12. That works out to 250. But of the 3 hits he has against O'Day, 2 of them are home runs. So, maybe he can catch up to another one here, or at least work himself on base and try and build a scoring opportunity.
I think she said, "I want to go home." How could you want to go home in a 1-0 game?
She is very, very angry.
When she hears Enter Sandman, she'll want to take her seat.
All right, so hitting for Hafner is Wells, and O'Day deals. High fly ball, left field. Dickerson on the track makes the play for the second. That's amazing on a hot day where the ball really travels in a ballpark that yields home runs. It's a 1-0 game.
Yeah, but you see the way the wind is blowing. I mean, look at the flags at the top of the stadium, and they're blowing out with a gale towards left field. That ball carried a lot further than I thought it was going to go. Vernon didn't quite get it, didn't drive it, but it still got to the warning track. You get it up, might get a boost. Imagine if there was no breeze, what would it feel like in here?
Here is Zoilo Almonte. Count 1-0. So by forcing the move to O'Day, by sending up Wells, he does get Almonte what he feels is a more favorable at bat from the left side against the righty. Count 2-0. Almonte has scored the only run of the game. He walked in the second, moved to third on a single by Overbay, and then scored on Eduardo Nunez, sac fly to left field. That's it. That's the only damage on the scoreboard. Almonte and his other at-bats, fly ball to left and a ground ball to short. So he's 0 for 2. A second inning run is holding up here in the bottom of the 8th.
The thing about it, both of those at-bats, both Almonte's and Overbay's. Almonte was an 11-pitch at-bat, fouling off pitch after pitch until he got the walk and got on base. Overbay was a 9-pitch at-bat, fouling pitch after pitch until he got the base hit that sent Almonte to third. So you're that close to being retired, and he couldn't put you away, and that's the difference in the game.
O'Day there, usually down low like that, lefties get a good side. He throws pretty well to lefties. You say Almonte not real comfortable with that last swing.
Yeah, that was one of those 911 jobs. Can I please foul it off?
And Almonte down on strikes. Yankees go down in order against 2 Oriole pitchers. We're going to the 9th. It'll be Mo against Machado, Markakis, and Jones. Bob Lorenz is back in our studios to wrap up this series finale with the O's and get you the latest news from around baseball. Plus, Meredith Markakis gets the team's reaction from the clubhouse. It's the W.B. Mason postgame. It's only on Yes.
Tell you what, from that look right there, I think Mo threw on a brand new pair of spikes for this appearance. Went with the high socks, a cooler look.
Maybe a little bit of an homage to David Robertson as he wants to get him into the All-Star team. Guy who sets him up and sets him up to the point of 29 saves and 30 opportunities.
76 of his career saves against the Baltimore Orioles.
Can you see that bright white? That just shows you that they haven't seen the mound much.
I thought that Joe Jordy had a good point about Rivera today. He said, I'm glad that he made the All-Star team in his final season. He said, but he didn't make it out of an honor. He made it because he deserved it. He said he has been an All-Star, and he has. So now he will face Manny Machado. 1-0. Yankees will try to close out this 3-game set and close out a sweep.
Different look there. He threw a two-seamer to start off Machado in.
Buck Showalter must look at Rivera and wonder what might have been. If he knew what Rivera was in '95, he could be sporting World Series rings. Fouled away. But Mo was still an unknown factor at that point. He's tied with Jim Johnson with 29 saves to lead the American League.
Tell you what, you see what Buck does. He doesn't take the aggressiveness away from the young hitter. 2-0, 1 run in the game, hacking away.
There's a ground ball to Cano with a tough hop. He stays with it to get Machado for the first out.
Tell you what, you're watching two of the guys that make this game. This game is very hard, believe me. To be out on the field as quick as it happens. You're watching two of the guys that make it look like a little kid's game. And Mariano Rivera and Robinson Cano, just the way they go about their business, just the way they play the game.
Here's Nick Markakis. 2 for 3 for Markakis. Singled in the first, doubled to right in the fourth. A fly ball to left in the sixth. And a fastball for a strike. 6 for 19 lifetime against Mo.
Markakis, one of those guys as a manager, you know, is going to give you a good at bat. He'll use the whole field to stay in there. Doesn't give it away.
That one is driven to right field. Fair ball, it's trouble. It is a foul ball. Just missed tying the game. Wow.
Saw that inside target for that cutter. I tell you what, you better get it in there. And Mo, he did get it in there. Markakis chokes up quick to the ball and just hooked it. I'll tell you what, that was close.
Wow.
That was kind of reminiscent of the championship series, the ball that McLeod hit off CC Sabathia. But that one was even more clearly fouled, the one today.
The 0-2 punched into center field, a base hit for Markakis, his third hit of the afternoon. So the Orioles have 4 hits and Markakis has 3 of them.
I'll tell you what, you won't see a better at bat up Mariano. He covered the ball in, and now he went to a backdoor cutter and he lined that one right back up the middle. Mariano's not used to that.
Well, we told you that over a long period of time, over 50 games now, Markakis has been a 300 hitter. You're right, Paul. Very solid hitter. Tough to get out at this point of the season.
Here is Adam Jones. And a strike. Jones, fly ball to right, ground ball back to the mound, fly ball to left. That one is driven out to deep left field. Going back, Almonte turning, looking. See ya! A 2-run home run for Adam Jones. And Mo has blown the save as the Yankees trail 2-1. Rivera looked absolutely dominant yesterday, but today the Orioles are more on him.
Tell you what, this was a two-seam. It was a cutter, and it just kind of came out over the plate. Jones got the barrel to it, and then you knew immediately where this ball was headed. And you talked earlier in the game about who the leader is. Well, this is the kind of things that leaders do on a team. Not overwhelmed with the situation, go up. You know, he got a mistake from Mo. That cutter was out over the plate a little bit.
He's very quick inside. That's where he likes the ball. You can see his manager's reaction. He's hit a lot of late inning home runs for the Orioles over the last few years. And there's a reason why he's going to the All-Star game.
Top vote getter amongst outfielders, 16 home runs, and with this swing, now 61 runs batted in.
You saw how quick that was from the side. Not much of a leg kick, just up, down, and to the ball.
Davis swings and misses. He is 0 for 4 today. Now we have to look ahead to the bottom of the 9th inning for the Yankees now. Overbay, Cruz, and Nunez. And we'll see if the Orioles go to Jim Johnson, who leads the American League with 6 blown saves. And that's who's up. So Kuroda gets a victory snatch from him. And what was a nice tidy 1-0 Yankee game is now 2-1 Orioles. Two and 0. Now to Wieters. Wieters 1 for 2 with a walk.
Adam Jones had kind of a up and down series. First game, remember we caught him in the tunnel, had some tough at bats. Yesterday came back with a couple good at bats. Early in this game didn't look real good, then all of a sudden has this huge home run.
I think Markakis' bat might have told you that Mariano wasn't quite on today. Markakis just missed taking him deep, and then on an 0-2 pitch he got a hit. Then you don't see that very often.
Three and 2 to Wieters. How did Mariano react to the home run? Too used to that. The 3-2 driven to right field. That ball is going to be a base hit and it bounces into the seats for a double.
Need Wieters' second double of the day. Now with 19 on the year.
And the pitch, that cutter just at the end. I mean, by him not having that sharp break, he's about a foot short. Instead of really breaking the bat, you just get jammed a little bit, but you're able to put it in play. Wieters has been opening up all day.
Very rare that Girardi would come out and talk to Mo, but it was about intentionally walking Hardy. So they don't want to take the chance with Hardy. They'd rather have Mo go up against Dickerson. And Mo struck out Dickerson yesterday to end the game. Hardy also has 15 home runs, so they'll stay away from that with an intentional walk.
Long stretch of games here going to the All-Star break. I mean, you see the bullpen's going to get up and going. You don't want to see Mariano, you know, throw 30, 35 pitches.
See Claiborne getting ready in a hurry. So now it's Dickerson against Mo. First and second, 2 men out. We're in the 9th.
Another thing you don't see very often. You walk a righty on righty to get to a lefty. You know, you're putting yourself in a double play, and Mariano's so good against lefties.
Jerry Neal said that Dickerson did not hold up. Dickerson somewhat bemused by that. Right back to Mo. But the damage has been done. Mariano comes in to save a 1-0 game. But with this swing by Adam Jones, it's 2-1 Orioles. Do the Yankees have a rally in their bones? We'll see. Sports fan, you've got to get DirecTV. Call 1-800-DirecTV. Mariano Rivera had saved 41 straight home games going back to the beginning of 2011. So what happened at the top of the 9th inning? Shocking. Only his second blown save this year. The other was May 28th against the Mets. He's had an extraordinary first half of the season. But certainly a bad one in the top of the 9th because of that man's 2-run home run. Do the Yankees come back against Jim Johnson, who has 6 blown saves this year, to lead the American League? Overbay takes a strike.
First game of this series, the Yankees took one from Jim Johnson. And then Wells ended up getting the big hit and walk off.
Oh, 2 on Overbay. Overbay is 1 for 3.
Johnson favors a mid-90s fastball that sinks. Got a good curveball and a changeup. They were thinking about making him a starter a couple of years back. Then he began to think, well, who's going to close the games?
Now, of the 6 blown saves by Johnson, 2 of them against the Yankees this year. Swing and a miss. chased the pitch up and out of the zone. 1 down.
And that's really the big out right there. And you see that just a two-seam fastball. Actually, it kind of turned that over. Might have been a changeup almost. To get Johnson in trouble, it seems like he starts gripping it and throwing it a little bit harder. First out, big in his success of getting through the 9th inning.
Cruz swings to a 96-mile-an-hour fastball. Cruz is 0 for 3.
Johnson does have 29 saves. He just has not been quite as automatic as last year.
Today he's using more pitches. The other day when he had trouble, it was all fastball, sinker, 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 and you know hitters are going to sit on that. Obviously he's mixed in a changeup. That was a breaking ball.
Swing and a miss. Yankees down to their final out as Eduardo Nunez will face Jim Johnson.
That was 95, and after a breaking ball and changeup makes it look tough, but he does get that good movement. I'll tell you what, this ends up the way it is. Both teams are going to look back at a game that they thought they stole. Baltimore today and the Yankees in game 1. So
Nunez has driven in the Yankees' only run. Breaking ball upstairs. 1-0. Three ribbies in the 2 games since he returned. And that one is chopped slowly right side. Fielded by Davis. Flips to Johnson. And the Yankees lose a tough one, 2-1. Each of the 3 games decided by 1 run. This one the Yankees end up losing because of Adam Jones' 2-run home run. And the Yankee 6-game winning streak ends. And this was the period on the end of this sentence. The toss to Johnson. And that does it as the Orioles salvage the final game of this 3-game set. Stick around for the postgame show to find out who's today's Chevy player of the game. Yankees looked like they were poised for a sweep, but Adam Jones had other ideas. We'll come back. Stay here.